The number of children being suspended or expelled from school for racist behaviour has more than doubled since the pandemic. Over 15,000 incidents last year alone. That's an average of 80 racist incidents every single school day, and some involved children as young as 4. In 2021 there were 7,400 cases. Last year, over 15,000. That's a rise of more than 100% in just 2 years. And these weren't just words in the playground. Cases included racist language, physical assaults, and graffiti filled with hate speech. Shockingly, nearly 2,500 of these suspensions involved primary school children, including 5 reception-age pupils. Year 8 students aged just 12 and 13 were the most likely to be punished for racist behaviour. Government officials call the figures unacceptable. But what's driving this? Campaigners point to the aftermath of COVID lockdowns. Children missed out on social interaction, discipline routines, and the social contract between parents and schools has broken down. There's also a wider crisis in education and social care. Special educational needs provision is underfunded. Children's mental health services are stretched to breaking point, and behaviour support teams have been cut back. As one school leader put it, the reasons for disruptive behaviour often lie beyond the school gates, in poverty, in trauma, and in a lack of support. Schools can't tackle that on their own. Here's the danger. When racist behaviour explodes in schools, it doesn't stay in schools. It shapes the next generation's values. It creates unsafe environments for black and minority ethnic children who already face systemic barriers. And it feeds directly into wider divisions in society. This is not about discipline. It's about the kind of Britain we want our kids to grow up in. So what needs to change? Parents and schools must rebuild trust. Discipline isn't just a school responsibility. It starts at home. We need sustained, sufficient investment in social care, mental health, and SEND provision. Decades of cuts have left children under-supported. Without proper resources, schools are firefighting symptoms instead of tackling causes. We need anti-racism education from the earliest years. If 4-year-olds are using racist language, likely heard at home, that's learned behaviour, and it needs to be unlearned through honest, age-appropriate conversations. Right now we're reacting. What's missing is a proactive plan to stop racism taking root in classrooms in the first place. This rise in racist incidents isn't inevitable. It's the result of neglect through austerity-driven chronic underfunding, as well as a reflection of the renormalisation of racism within our society. And the two are linked. Right-wing parties like the Tories and Reform did and want to again slash state spending while giving tax cuts to bankers, millionaires and tax-dodging big businesses. They refused to close tax loopholes. And so the only way to balance the books at the Treasury is to cut services, like the education budget. And how are they linked? Because those same parties then stoke up anti-immigrant rhetoric as a distraction for normal working people who are told to blame asylum seekers for their reduced living standards and declining public services, instead of blaming the same service-cutting austerity parties like Reform and the Tories. This isn't the kids' fault. They're a product of their environment at home, and in turn those parents' understanding of the world has been shaped by conmen like Farage, Stop the Boats Tories, and the wasp's nest of far-right agitators online, who wrongly blame all of the world's problems on non-white residents of this country. Our society has a disease, and these kids are just one of the many symptoms.